Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to assemble your puzzle parts after you've created all of them. This is going to make it a complete cube. Um, for this, you're going to want to make sure that you have access to your solution so that you can see how it's made. Um, so the first thing that we're going to do is I choose a piece that's kind of at the center of it. Kind of think of it as the heart of your puzzle, but it's the one that all the others are made on. For this cube that I have, it is going to be the blue piece. I also like to make sure that my piece is oriented the correct way, and I'll show you how to do that with some other ones in a minute. For now, this blue piece is actually the way that I want it to sit. The one most important thing to do to start off with is your quote unquote home piece, your centerpiece. You come over here into the browser, right click on it, and right here where it says ground, you need to click ground. And what that does is it makes it so, see how these can move? If I grab and drag, grounding basically pins it in place and it can't go anywhere. All right, so we need that to happen. The next thing that I like to do is kind of move all of the pieces, other pieces, roughly where they go. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just kind of want them in the general area. And that's going to make my life easier in a minute. Now, if you look right here, here's the move copy. I have two pieces, this green and red one, that need to rotate. So I'm going to click the move button. I'm going to click there, and then these semicircles, these arcs, allow it to rotate. And I just choose 90 degrees. And then the arrows, I can move them. All right, so if you see when I do this, I'm just going to move these out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I can actually move roughly to where I want all this stuff to sit. This move, this needs to rotate. Oh, I did the wrong one. There it goes. And that goes roughly over here. Now that I have that, we have to actually do what's called join everything together or assemble it. And we're going to be looking in the assemble panel at the joint command right here. And what the joint command is, puts parts together and allows certain types of motion between them. So I'm going to click joint. So if you look at motion, we have rigid, we have revolute, all right, we have slider. We'll go through all of these later, but for now we just want rigid. Rigid means basically like glue it in place, stick together. All right, now mode is simple, between two faces, or two edge intersection. So for this one, I'll show you what simple does. Simple allows you to choose certain points, snap points, to put edges together. However, we're going to have to deal with some weird issues if we use this one for now. I'm actually on component one, going to choose two edge intersection, and component two, choose two edge intersection. And the way that this works is you select two edges that need to touch each other. Let me show you what I'm talking about. On the blue one, you see this edge right here. Select this corner and that edge. See how it puts a target. I'm going to use the view cube to rotate so I can clearly see my other one. And I want this edge and this edge See how I highlighted it's got another target, which means that basically these two targets are now going to move together and touch. Let me move this a bit so you can watch it happen. Those just mated together, joined. Now, if you ever have to adjust the alignment, you can change things such as the angle, the offset. That can be done here too. All right. Change this back to 0. Those are not anything we need to do right now. It's where we want it to be. We hit OK. Now, if you look, since this is joined to a grounded component, it can't move. And when I come to check your assemblies, that's how I'm going to check. I'm going to literally take the mouse and try to drag something like this. If it moves, that means you didn't assemble it properly. If it doesn't move, you did well. All right. Now, I just realized that I did do this wrong a little bit. So I'm going to come down here to my timeline and I'm going to delete that rigid joint. I actually should have put the green piece first. That was my fault. But still, in the timeline, I just deleted it and we're going to do the same method. You got to select 2 edge intersection every time. This edge and this edge touching. This edge and that edge. This edge and that edge. Wrong edges. So as you can see, we all make some mistakes. It happens. But it's nothing that you can't just go back, undo, and fix. All right, finally, I did it correct. Now I'm going to do the joint again, our 2 edge intersection. This is where the red piece goes. Remember, we're just using edges to create reference points. All right. For my next one, I'm going to do a yellow piece. So I'm going to select these 2 edges. Those should be touching bottom 2 edges here. And then my final part is the purple piece around the back. Hit OK, and there it is. Now if I go home, here's my fully assembled puzzle. And we know that it works because all the pieces fit together without running into each other. All of my parts are good. So we can save that and we're done with assembly, ready to move on to the exploded view.